These are developments that we first learned about earlier today. Premoday Khakha, a senior official who was working with the Delhi government's Women and Child Development Department, has now been detained by the Delhi police. Remember, this is a story we've been focusing on over the last few hours because the story around him is horrifying. Now, he has been taken in by the Delhi police for allegedly sexually harassing and raping a minor girl who was a friend's daughter. The minor girl happened to be, as we told you, the daughter of the official's friend. He took her in after the daughter's father died. Now, immediately after that, it seems that the mother could not support the daughter alone. So this official offered to support this young girl by taking him into his family. Now, the victim herself is currently in class 12, but she tells the police that this series of incidents actually started 2 years ago, between the years 2020 and 2021, right after the death of her father, when she started living with the accused. Now, the victim has said that she was sexually harassed, that she was molested, and that she was repeatedly raped by her uncle. She's also, and this is very important, also alleged that she'd undergone a termination of her own pregnancy. She was forced to do so by the wife of the accused. Now, as we told you a little while earlier, the accused is an official with the government. The Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has, in the last few hours, ordered the suspension of the official. He's asked the Chief Secretary to file a report in just a few minutes from now by 5 p.m. on this entire story. We're going to take a much deeper dive. We're going to speak to reporters on the ground. First, take a look at reactions that have come in the last few hours.
Sir, on 13, this POCSO FIR was registered. Till today, there has been no arrest. What are the delay and what are the procedures that are being followed?
Yes, see, it is a very sensitive case. The victim was not in her total stable condition as far as our legal procedure is concerned. On 13th, the FIR was lodged, 13th of August. Next day only, on 14th, we had filed for 164 statement for her. However, the doctors, they asked for some time for her to get stable. Today, we are getting the same effect. See, we have so far tried to gather other evidences, but in vain. As regards to the interview of the main accused as well as other witnesses, that is underway, and subsequently the due course will follow.
Can we expect the arrest by maybe by today evening?
See, it depends upon the evidences on record and also regards to the statement of the victim.
Who do you think is responsible for this inaction that we have seen from the Delhi police, and also the DCW also did not have any idea? So do you think this is a failure of the entire mechanism that is in place in the national capital?
How is it a failure of the Delhi Commission for Women? Because I know that you have been trying to say that the Delhi Commission for Women has not done its work properly. I'll just give you two instances. I got to know about this case yesterday night. In the morning itself, I've issued a notice to the Delhi police as well as the Delhi government. I have wanted to know that why is it that this man was not arrested. From the Delhi government, I want to know that what all sensitive positions did he hold and was any other complaint filed against him in his 20 or plus years of service. So we are inquiring into the matter. Now I want to meet the survivor. For the past 1.5 years, the Delhi police has refused my entry into the hospital. The DCP and ACP is sitting inside and they're not allowing me to enter, and this has been confirmed by the senior most was built. The other thing that I want to understand is that why are they not allowing me to enter, and mechanism.
March earlier this year, and this is after Atishi took over. Atishi is currently the minister. Now, the order was issued on the 13th. Until then, he was the OSD to Kailash Gahlot from the 29th of March 2022 till the 9th of March 2023. These are the clarifying details that we have with us. Remember, multiple questions were initially being asked about how close he was to the senior leadership of the Aam Aadmi Party and the bureaucrats, the officials that were taking care of the ministries. Let's go over to two colleagues we have on the ground to bring us more details about this. My colleague Anvit and my colleague Anshul are both with us on the story. Let's go over first to my colleague Anshul to understand more. Anshul, clarify for us, what does this letter that establishes a timeline, it shows us that this official, the official who is considered the perpetrator of this entire incident, he was removed, he was not the OST to Atishi. What does this effectively mean for Atishi, for the Aam Aadmi Party, the questions that have been asked of them since earlier today?
Well, effectively, this doesn't mean much in this entire matter, but yes, the manner in which the politics was going on, such letters are now coming to the fore, where the exact details about the whereabouts of the accused is coming to the fore. Now, when this incident had happened in 2020 itself, he was the assistant director of the Women and Child Welfare Department of the Delhi government. Post that, he was transferred as the OST to Kailash Gahlot, and as the letter mentions, that he was then removed from there. And post that removal, over the last 6 to 8 months, probably an year, he was actually the deputy director of the Women and Child Welfare Department. So he was, if you see his designation, his career path, he was continuously on the rise. Over the last at least 5 to 7 years, there was little to no action, or probably anyone had any idea that he was a person who was doing such a heinous crime, or who had done such a heinous crime when he was the assistant director of the Women and Child Welfare Department. But yes, the kind of politics that we are seeing happening around it today is actually very shocking and appalling, and it actually tells that how our political parties are in look for such reasons to actually go ahead and carry out political attacks, because there is very little that is being talked about the victim, the ordeal that she had to face, the pain that she had to go through, because right after the death of her father, the girl who was actually in trauma at that point, she was taken away by the accused in this entire matter, and he was kept in his house for at least 6 months, where it has now been alleged, and that statement has been officially been recorded to the magistrate. In that statement as well, it has been alleged that he was the person who actually not only raped her but also sexually harassed her, molested her over 6 continuous months, and it is only after that she returned back to her home. Even when she returned back to her home, that girl was under a trauma. She often, over the last 2 years, often she had those anxiety attacks, but those anxiety attacks were small in nature. And since the capability of the surviving mother was not so much that she could be treated at a big hospital, at a private hospital, and hence she was taken to the local hospitals, where the doctors and the staff who are not trained in such a way to look into such manners, they said that she might be having some trauma, but they thought to themselves that this trauma could be because of the girl has lost her father at a very young age. Now, when finally she had that very big anxiety attack on the 13th or 12th of August, she was taken to a private hospital, where eventually the doctor advised that counseling should happen so that the exact reason about her trauma could come out. And in that counseling, the girl finally revealed the entire ordeal of what was going in her mind over the last 2 years. That girl was not able to concentrate on her studies. The girl was not able to focus on a career. That girl was not able to make friends, and hence she was, in fact, she dropped out of her school and joined the Open School of Learning, the School of Open Learning of the Delhi government, in which the student does not have to physically be present in the class. Only they have to go ahead and give those practical exams or the exams that are required. So yes, this is something that the girl was suffering for over the last 2 years. Very little is being talked about this at this point in time. What the political parties are talking about is about whataboutery. Because on one hand, the BJP is saying that the Aam Aadmi Party is doing politics. The BJP is saying that Swati Maliwal is trying to do politics and is sitting at the dharna over here. On the other hand, the Aam Aadmi Party is saying that the OST or the official was deployed by the central government and was an employee of the central government. So yes, who he was working for, that is something that will eventually come up in the investigation. But yes, why was this person being allowed to enjoy such a free run, especially when that FIR was registered on the 13th of August itself? Why both the accused in this case, that is the husband and wife, why were they not arrested on the 13th? Post that, why did the NCW, the DCW, the NCPCR, DCPCR have no idea whatsoever that such an incident has happened in the national capital? The child is under massive trauma. No one came to the fore, no one took any action. It is only after the media started reporting on this, or only after the media started showing the truth about this entire story, we are seeing such such
Okay.
heavy-handed comments or such heavy-handed statements that are coming to the fore, either from the government or from the opposition. But yes, the biggest question is as to who is responsible for the trauma that the girl had to go through for the last 2 years after she was raped multiple times, is what the accusation that she has made against the
Okay.
Deputy Director of the Women and Child Department of the Delhi government.
Anshul, can I just ask you to stay with us? You've just highlighted a few key questions. I want to highlight those further for our audiences. These are some of the questions that the BJP is asking the Aam Aadmi Party is asking the BJP. The back and forth continues, but there are some key issues within these questions. Number one, why was no intervention done by the DCW until now if the case was filed on August 13th? This is something that Anshul pointed to. This is something that the BJP is asking. The initial details, the FIR, as we told you, was filed on August 13th, which is almost 10 days ago. Now, what explains the Women and Child Development Minister Atishi's silence on this issue? This is another question that's being asked. Remember earlier her opponents in the BJP were suggesting that this government official actually worked closely with Atishi. Now it's clear that that wasn't in fact true. He worked closely with Kailash Gahlot, who was the previous minister in charge of this entire ministry. Now, question number 3. Can the onus be shifted now to the police? This question that has been asked even by my colleague Anshul, that if the FIR was filed on August 13th, why didn't we see follow-up action taken by the police in the days after that, either against the perpetrator, who is pictured here, or his wife, who reportedly helped the younger girl by taking her to the hospital, but made her have pills to have an abortion. Now, question number 4. Why the outrage only after the case is reported in the media? As we told you already, this is a case that's details came to light yesterday and early today. The question still arises, if the case was filed on the 13th, why has it taken so long? Now, these are the 4 questions. Let's go back to my colleague Anshul to get more clarity on the details themselves and how they're playing out. Anshul and my colleague Anvit, I believe, are both still with us. We'll actually go to Anvit now to understand more. Anvit, are you able to hear me? All right. Anvit, can you just tell our audiences, this question is being asked. We're telling our audiences that the person right in the center, the accused, he has been detained, but he hasn't yet been arrested. Now, one of the things that our colleague Anshul was telling us was that right now the police is wary of the victim's statement because medical officials also had said that the statement itself was given in some stress. But tell us, Anvit, in a POXO case, can't the police go ahead and arrest him anyway? What's the context there?
See, basically the FIR that has been registered, it was registered when this girl was being counseled. She had been getting panic attacks, and she was at her home, at her own house. When she had been getting panic attacks, she was taken to a hospital where doctors advised that she should go immediate counseling. And during the counseling, it had emerged that the girl has been sexually assaulted multiple times. The girl herself or any family member of the girl or any direct complaint was not made. Any direct statement was not given. For that, police had requested for a 164 statement under CRPC, but the doctors had advised, they had opined that the girl is not in a condition that her statement can be recorded. This is the reason why the police are stating that her statement, recording of statement had to be delayed. And today, when the doctors had again been approached, they have said that yes, a statement can be recorded, but only at the hospital because girl is still under heavy medical supervision. A magistrate, we believe, had gone to the hospital today, and then her statement was recorded when the doctors were also present in the same room, and she was still being medically supervised. Usually in these cases, the victim is taken to the magistrate, but in this case, treating it as a special case, the magistrate had gone to the hospital because the girl's condition is said to be not very well. She had been admitted and she had been seeking treatment on the psychiatry ward. So her statement is crucial. But see, this will again be important when the case goes to trial, that how reliable the statement is. But police are saying that because when the girl was spoken to by the counsellors, she had taken some names which includes this person's names also. Both the couple, based on that and based on the FIR that has been registered, were detained today morning, and they are also being questioned. Now, 3 things that police are currently looking at is one, the 164 CRPC statement that is being recorded, that has been recorded, we believe. We are being told that it has been recorded. What the girl has disclosed in that will be crucial because that has been recorded in front of a magistrate, and it will be admissible in the court of law as an evidence. Other than that, the statement that the police had given to the the counselors, that has also been recorded and that will also be used. Her mother's statement is also being recorded. Other than that, when this couple was detained and they are being questioned since morning, whatever they have told earlier, police had also gone to their house. So whatever sequence of event police have managed to establish, all these 3 to 4 evidences that have been gathered will be corroborated with each other so that police manages to file a watertight case. Other than that, what the police officers are saying, the scientific evidences are also being collected. What time did the girl leave the house? It is believed that at least 4 to 5 months was the period between November 2020 to March 2021 when the girl had stayed at the couple's house, and therefore that was the period when she was allegedly multiple times sexually assaulted. That, even though it will be technically a challenge to even medically to confirm, that when whether the sexual assault took place between that period, who was the person who had sexually assaulted. So mostly police is right now going by the statement. They are trying to collect scientific as well as forensic evidence as much as possible, and that is why the police teams had also gone early in the morning to the couple's house. But see, as far as the case is concerned, police are saying that all the necessary actions are being taken. They have recorded the statement. Now the arrest is also likely today, depending upon what the 164 statement has to reveal, what they have found from the house, and what this couple has to reveal. That has been questioned since today morning.
Okay, Anvit and our colleague Anshul, thank you for bringing us those details. Very quickly, I now want to walk our audiences through all the reactions that are coming in, though Anvit and Anshul will both say station on the ground, bringing us inputs on this story. Take a look at all of the reactions that have come in.
आज वो शांत और मौन क्यों है? सवाल ये बनता है कि क्या उनको ये पता था? क्या वो इससे ऑफिसर को पेट्रोनेज और प्रोटेक्शन दे रहे थे, और अब क्योंकि भांडा फूट गया है तो उनसे कुछ बोलते नहीं बन पा रहा है? दिल्ली सरकार का एक वरिष्ठ अधिकारी ये करता रहा एक बच्ची के साथ और उनको जानकारी नहीं थी, और जानकारी थी तो क्या कार्रवाई की?
देखिए, बहुत शॉकिंग इंसिडेंट है। इसलिए भी शॉकिंग है क्योंकि जो ये अफसर हैं वो खुद महिला एवं बाल विकास विभाग में काम कर रहे थे, और अगर उन पर किसी माइनर के रेप का आरोप लगता है तो फिर ये बहुत ही एक चिंताजनक बात है हमारे लिए। मैं उम्मीद करती हूँ कि दिल्ली पुलिस जल्द से जल्द और सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई करेगी। ये मुख्यमंत्री के संज्ञान में आया, उन्होंने तुरंत चीफ सेक्रेटरी को आदेश दिए हैं कि पेंडिंग इंक्वायरी अफसर को, जो कंसर्न्ड अफसर हैं, उनको सस्पेंड किया जाए, तुरंत प्रभाव से सस्पेंड किया जाए। और मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने आज शाम 5 बजे तक सीएस से रिपोर्ट भी मांगी है।
एफआईआर 13 अगस्त की थी, इतना समय क्यों लग गया उसको सस्पेंड करने में? और तीसरी बात, इस मंत्रालय की मिनिस्टर तो माननीय आतिशी जी है ना, एक महिला होने के नाते, एक मंत्री होने के नाते वो चुप्पी क्यों साधी हुई है? और चौथी बात, स्वाति मालिवाल जी, जिनके ऊपर ये दारोमदार है कि वो उस बच्ची को न्याय दिलाएं, वो धरना डालकर, राजनीतिक प्रपंच कर तफ्तीश में अवरोध क्यों पैदा कर रही है? ये राजनीति का मुद्दा नहीं है।
देखिए, बहुत ही शॉकिंग घटना है, निंदनीय घटना है, लेकिन सबसे ज्यादा जो चिंताजनक बात है वो ये है कि डीसीडब्ल्यू जी, जो महिलाओं के लिए लोगों के लिए खड़े रहने वाली संस्था है, अगर उसी के ऑफिस के अंदर, जिनकी जिम्मेवारी बच्चों को और महिलाओं को संरक्षण देने की है, उन्हीं के अगर ऑफिस के अंदर ये घटना हो रही है तो ज़्यादा चिंताजनक है। डीसीडब्ल्यू की चेयरमैन तो जहाँ भी कोई घटना होती है हर जगह आंसू बहाने पहुँच जाती हैं, लेकिन
जो कृत्य सामने आया है, मुझे लगता है कि उससे घटिया और घिनौना काम कम सुनने में आता है। एक पिता के तौर पे एक मृत दोस्त की बेटी को घर लाना और उसके साथ ऐसा अत्याचार करना पूरी मानवता को शर्मसार करता है। ऐसे लोगों के ऊपर सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए, और उनकी पत्नी जिन्होंने उनका साथ दिया, उनके ऊपर भी बराबर की कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए।
देखिए, उनके दोनों के खिलाफ सख्त कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए, और ख़ास तौर से जो आदमी सरकारी मुलाजिम है और जिसकी जिम्मेदारी ही ये है कि वो बच्चों का और महिलाओं का ख्याल करेगा, उसने अगर ऐसा जुर्म किया है तो ये जुर्म और ज़्यादा बड़ा बन जाता है। सरकार की जिम्मेदारी है कि उनके खिलाफ सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई की जाए।